You should get ready because once you understand what's been going on, you'll see that your life has been getting you ready for something much bigger than you thought. There are a lot of people who get stuck in loops and keep doing the same things, which leads to more pain and more lies. And when they do talk about waking, it's usually only on the surface. On the other hand, your waking is different. In a person's mental journey, there are times when everything starts to fall into place. Not just in your mind or heart, but also in your body. And this isn't just a way to learn new things. You start to lose parts of who you are. You see changes in the way you talk, think, move, and feel about the world. Getting awake doesn't start here. That's the last step you have to take before you reach your highest level of awareness. Most people don't know this is going on, though. Their thought is that they are breaking down, not waking up. They don't want to accept the signs that are trying to show that they are spiritually growing. That's why it's so important that you clearly see these 7 spiritual patterns that will change your life. You will never again mistake your change for chaos after you do this. It will feel like the last waking, and nothing else will feel the same after that. All of a sudden, your old jobs, titles, and labels don't seem to fit anymore. There was a time when you thought of yourself as a rebel, a people pleaser, a nurse, or the strong one. But now it feels weird for you to wear those personalities. It's like putting on old, heavy outfits that you no longer want to do. You're not lost if you see this. It's not true at all. Letting go of the person you thought you had to be helps you become more of who you really are. For many years, or even forever, your personality was shaped by trauma, expectations, society, or the need to survive. But those old plans are falling apart now that your final awakening is coming. You don't feel the need to please others, fit in, or keep up looks anymore. You might even feel strange when you look in the mirror, not in a bad way, but it seems like the way you look on the outside doesn't fully show the change going on inside. It gets harder to talk to other people. You are not above them. They no longer expect you to play the parts they thought you would play. Yes, this can make you feel lost. You might be wondering who I am now, but that question isn't a really big deal. There's a space. Your soul is making room for your real self to show itself. One that was never made to be approved of, but to free people. Don't try to stop yourself if you feel like you're becoming someone else. It's not a loss. This is how you connect. It's the first and most important sign that you're finally waking up, since the soul can't rise while the ego is still wearing the mask. Things like that feels like a different lifetime come to mind. Even when you talk about something that happened a year ago, whole parts of your life seem so far away, like they happened to someone else. There is no memory loss here. Having no energy is what it is. Your relationship with time changes when you reach the last stages of spiritual awareness. Layers have been added to what used to feel straight. There is no longer a line of events in your past that you can see. It sounds more like echoes to you, chapters you've read, and a lot of them that you still live in. Some days go by so slowly that it feels like you're in a dream. Some days go by so quickly that you don't even know how time went by. It feels like conversations are being planned. Routines seem strange. You watch yourself do things. You used to really be into it, but now it feels more like watching than taking part. This doesn't mean you're taking a break. From a higher level of awareness, you can see life. You are no longer just the character. You are also the viewer. You're moving into small time where how well something fits with your growth is more important than how long it takes. A lot of people don't like this phase. They try to get back to normal by getting back into routines or feeling like they have control over things again. But when you accept that this is unchanging, you start to understand something very important. When you awaken doesn't depend on the date. It expands based on frequency instead of time. When you find your rhythm, time will no longer be something you have to control. You go through it as a spectator, not as a prisoner. What wasn't a big deal before is now unacceptable. You might leave talks in the middle of a sentence, not because you're rude, but because the energy just doesn't feel right. You need to stop defending yourself. Stop blaming other people for what they do wrong. You need to stop acting like things that bother you are okay. It's not that you're getting cold or angry. When your spiritual awakening hits its last stage, you become more in tune with your energy. Your instincts, your nervous system, and your emotional radar all get better. The way you feel is in your body. You can feel imbalance coming on before it happens. This design is very important because of this. Things you used to put up with didn't just bother you. They drained you. They held your anger in loops that made you feel stuck, guilt, or giving up on yourself. But now you know what it will cost, and your soul doesn't want to pay it. This often causes interactions to change quickly. You may lose touch with people who used to take up all of your time. Things that used to feel safe may now feel like they're choking you. You may feel ashamed at first, too. But the guilt goes away when you understand you're not turning people down. Your mind is going back to you. It's not enough to just rise into the light to be awake. What you let into your field needs to be cleaned up. And when you stop justifying the things that drain you, your final development speeds up to the speed of light in the early stages of awakening. People hold on to ideas that make them feel better. They read positive quotes and affirmations over and over again to try to stay cheerful. But something more profound happens in the last stage of waking. Let go of your search for peace and truth. You don't care if something sounds good anymore. You need to know if it's true. You need more than just encouragement. This means facing parts of yourself that you used to avoid. Your habits, your projections, and the wounds that haven't healed yet. It also means questioning ideas you were raised with and have never questioned. But there's a catch. You can't stop this shift once it starts. You start to see the truth everywhere, even when it's not what you want to see. Talks that used to feel normal now feel empty. The media you used to watch seems deceptive. People who wear masks start to bother you, and you can't keep pretending you don't see it. Being so clear can make you feel alone, but it can also set you free because when you're focused on the truth, not your ego being right, you hit a frequency that most people never get to. There is no faster way to connect with your soul than through the truth. It may be painful to let go of lies, but what comes after them is always stronger, clearer, and many times more powerful. Your life doesn't just get better after you cross this line. It lines up in a way that can't be faked or forced. You no longer just want the truth. You live it. At the back of your mind, you know something. There's been no special event. You can still feel it. Something is coming to an end. A circle is ending. A part of you is melting away, but instead of being scared, a strange part of you is ready. Not depressed at all. Apathy is not it. It's the soul getting ready for change. At the deepest depths of identity and purpose, there is a shift. You might want to change your habits, clean up your place, or spend more time by yourself. You might want to separate yourself. It's not because you're being alone, but because your energy is shifting. There are some who take this as distance when it's not. It is finished. You're ending a long story about space. You no longer want to save everyone or fix everything. You feel calmer, less angry, and more open to other people. That level of balance is not apathy. Powerful. You can let go at this point because your soul has finally learned enough lessons. You no longer fight against change. You know it will happen. You believe that what lies ahead will not be a loss, but a time to remember what you came here to become. On your last waking, you won't change into a different person. It's about getting rid of everything that wasn't you. And when this ending is over, you'll rise. Not because you're trying, but because you have nothing else to hold you back. The way you interact with other people changes. You don't hate people or not want to connect with them, but lately it's been hard to be around too many people, especially those who drain your energy. You want to be alone. Plants. There is either open space or a door that is closed. Not because you're trying to avoid life, but because you can finally hear yourself. One of the obvious signs is the need to be alone. The world is making more noise, which means your mental frequency is going up. Your inner self starts to speak more clearly, and that whisper gets stronger when you make yourself quiet enough to hear it. So people might not get it. They could feel like you're not close to them, odd, or fun anymore. That's not what they understand, though. Your energy is no longer willing to spread itself thin just to feel accepted. You're no longer ready to hide your appearance for cheap approval. And now for the real reason behind the change. Your soul is getting ready to receive higher truths, and it needs space to do so. Room for emotions, spirituality, and vibrations, as well as room for matter. Soulness is not being alone. This is orientation. It's where your deepest insights start to take shape. The truth comes to you, not because someone told you to believe it, but because you let it. Your wish to disconnect is not to hide away. It's time to reset. You can see more clearly inside your head the longer you stay in this energy. That's when your awakening grows up, not by giving you more knowledge, but by letting you integrate it more deeply. When you're calm, centered, and grounded, your outside life suddenly looks back at you in a clearer way. Things are going well in life. You notice little gifts, helpful people, and doors that open up out of the blue. But the outside world seems to get tighter when you give in to fear or old habits. There are delays. Miscommunications get worse. Something doesn't feel right. It's not a coincidence. It's not just luck. It's how your energy feels in sync with the real world right now. You may have thought that life was happening to you in the early stages of waking. You're beginning to understand that it's happening through you now. This trend can be awkward because it makes you take on a lot of responsibility. You begin to notice that everything around you reflects every feeling, thought, or purpose. Still, it gives you a lot of power because it shows that you're no longer separate from how your life is going. Your energy is having an effect on it. You might start to notice that even your thoughts are affecting the next few hours of your day while you're in the air. Your mood may make you feel like you've seen or heard something before, like a strange form of déjà vu. The more you understand this, the more intentional your energy becomes. Your aura has become the architect of your events. You start to choose peace because it changes your life, not just because it's good for you. At this point of understanding, things have changed a lot. This is no longer how you respond to life. You're helping to make it. And that's not just an idea. This is what it's like for someone to fully step into their awoken self. It's not a coincidence if you see yourself in these trends. You aren't just getting up. You're getting close to the last stage of waking. It doesn't look like spiritual glitz or rockets either. It looks like something simple. It makes me feel calm. It seems like nothing is there. This is not the start of your trip. Now is the time to stop looking for it and start remembering it. No longer do anything. You're no longer. And maybe for the first time, you understand that nothing needs to be added, just shown. It's not about arrival in your last waking. It has to do with balance. And the fun starts as soon as you stop asking, what should I become? What am I finally ready to let go of? If this hit home for you, leave a comment below. I'm ready for my last waking. Let's all say it out loud. Also, before you leave, watch the next video. It will help you keep your awakening safe from the things that are meant to pull you back into old routines. Now you're ready. Let's go even further.